School under fire. Parents sue over daughter's secret gender transition. A Maryland school district is now facing a lawsuit after parents accused officials of deliberately hiding their daughter's social gender transition. They claim the school then cited district policy to justify keeping them in the dark. America First Legal is leading this lawsuit on behalf of anonymous parents, identified as John and Jane Doe. The plaintiffs argue that Arundel County Public Schools policies violate their First and 14th Amendment rights, as well as similar provisions of the Maryland Constitution. This case was filed recently in the U.S. District Court for the District of Maryland. This legal battle is part of a growing wave of challenges targeting school districts with policies that allow staff to withhold information about a student's gender identity from parents. It also comes months after a U.S. Supreme Court decision that America First Legal says reinforced parents' constitutional rights over decisions involving their children. Ian Pryor, senior advisor at America First Legal and counsel for the plaintiffs, says the district ignored that precedent. He stated the school system was referring to their client's daughter by a male name and assuming a male identity without the parents' approval or knowledge. When the parents did find out and questioned the school, they were, in his words, quite frankly lied to about it. The parents then told the school they denied consent and wanted them to stop, but school officials allegedly responded, "Well, too bad. That's the law." Pryor emphasized that, unfortunately for Arundel County Public Schools, that is not the law, and the Supreme Court has made it clear that parents have a fundamental right to raise their children, meaning schools cannot facilitate a child's social transition without parental notice and consent. The dispute began late last year after a teacher accidentally emailed the parents using a male name for their daughter. The teacher reportedly tried to recall the message and later claimed it was sent to the wrong recipient. However, the lawsuit alleges the teacher later admitted the explanation was false and acknowledged the student had requested to be called by a male name. The parents then instructed school officials to use only their daughter's legal name and requested records related to the school's actions. School administrators allegedly refused those requests, citing the district's policies and telling the parents that staff were required to honor the student's preferred name while at school. Months later, another teacher reportedly used the same male name in an email about an upcoming field trip. When the parents questioned it, the teacher initially gave a false explanation before admitting the name referred to their daughter. District policies, according to the lawsuit, require staff to use students' preferred names and pronouns and keep information about their gender identity confidential without notifying or getting permission from parents. Pryor commented that it's unfortunate this has to result in litigation because, he says, the Supreme Court has been very clear about what schools can and cannot do. He adds that often you have to bring schools to court to get them to adhere to the Constitution and the law. This Maryland case is the latest in a series of lawsuits America First Legal has filed challenging school policies governing student gender identity. Just weeks ago, they filed a separate federal lawsuit against Fairfax County Public Schools in Virginia, alleging that district's policy violates parents' constitutional rights by allowing staff to socially transition students without notifying parents in certain circumstances. America First Legal is also pursuing similar parental rights cases in Pennsylvania and California. This litigation also comes amid a broader push to challenge school policies concerning parental notification and gender identity. Earlier this year, the U.S. Department of Education concluded that the California Department of Education remains in violation of the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, finding that state policies pressure school officials to conceal information about students' gender identity from parents. Arundel County Public Schools has declined to comment on the litigation.